the line only goes up, right? Like America's still the number one country. The US dollar is still the most important currency. You have 401k still reinvesting into SPY every year. You have Trump accounts now that are also going to be invested into the markets, right? The best companies are in America, and like I said, they're only going to keep growing. I don't see a bear case.
Man, I feel like this is what everyone says though, right before. It's like we cut to like a month later and but something happened.
Even
right?
the 2022 blip is a blip now, right? Yes, like this is we're too young to remember like what was 2001, 2008 like, right? Because that in theory was kind of like a flat line for the U.S. stock market, albeit that's from top to top. 2001, 2008, right? Like, maybe people have talked about how euphoric and senseless the dot-com bubble actually was with, really fake revenue and stuff like that. We're not seeing that now. And again, I think everything just gets corrected now because you have social media, because you have like this forum of people arguing every single bear case that exists out there. All the ideas kind of get out. Like people talk about like, the circular financial engineering, whatever, like companies, people are talking about it openly, right? Like, no one's finding anything. It's not scaring billions of dollars to keep getting pushed in. So I think,
What about any black swan event?
So like a COVID-25 or something.
I tend to think it's something nuclear. I tend to think all it takes is. Why are you laughing, Jack?
I'm just saying because, like, dude, if we have nuclear fallout, I am not caring about my Schwab account. It's like I'm not gonna care that I really shouldn't have taken on an additional $100,000 of margin to buy like Google stock.
That's why you should be buying. That's why Jack doesn't buy the bottoms. He only buys the tops.
I invested in Bloom. It plummeted, and then I also bought the bottom. So I do sometimes buy the bottom after I've already lost a lot. Let's just say all of a sudden, some country, I'm not going to say which one, drops 10 nukes on America.
Right.
They wouldn't on America, but there would be some fear.
Right.
Or there would be something on the other side.
It's impossible to predict, so it's hard to live or kind of invest like that, right? And I don't know if you're going to get the push notification early enough to sell before it happens.
Get the Amber Alert.
Immediately
sell everything.
I mean, in that sense, build up as much money as you can and then switch to gold.
Is there a specific type or style of investing that you have officially banned yourself from ever doing again, and you would recommend people ban themselves from doing that same thing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't touch options. I don't touch options at all. It's too enticing.
What do you think about Jack's option strategy?
Wait, so you buy or sell?
I sell options.
You sell options.
So I sell puts to enter positions, and I'll find something with a high implied volatility on a blue chip company that I really like, such as Robinhood, such as I have a little bit of 𝗪𝗓, I have a little bit of Bloom, and I sell puts to enter the positions, and then I sell calls to, ideally make some weekly premium. And if I'm buying options, I buy them over leaps, where it's essentially just leveraged money.
Does it increase your stress at all? Like, are you watching it close to the strike?
No. If anything, it decreases my stress because it's a hedge against the position. So my stress would be amplified if I was just owning the stock outright, because that's technically a more aggressive strategy than hedging against it, which would be like a covered call.
Yeah.
So the way I see it is, if I can collect 2% premium per week on a company, 3% premium per week on a company selling covered calls, then I know if the company goes down 3%, I'm exactly where I was. If it goes up however much it is, I collect 3%. If it stays the same, I collect 3%. If it goes down 10%, the IV spikes. And if the IV spikes, so do premiums. And then I'll just sell another covered call to continually decrease my tax basis. And the same logic that you said, how the only thing you really consider is the average cost or like your enter price. That's essentially what I'm doing too by selling calls to decrease. It's one way of looking at it, my average cost.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a very simple person, right? And that's a lot of math. And to me, if you're willing to, if it makes sense to you, right? And like the math is easy and it doesn't add stress or take too much time to kind of analyze and figure out what the right options to sell are, I think it is good. I mean, many people have recommended it to me. I just like to try to keep things simple.
Let's compare Robinhood accounts. We're all going to compare Robinhood accounts at the end of this podcast, guys. I have to ask you, why were you banned from Wall Street Bets?
Oh, I don't know. I think someone just got really jealous and kind of like rage banned me and deleted a bunch of my posts.
Because you were kind of famous on Wall Street Bets.
Yeah. Like I didn't do anything wrong. I was posting, just screenshots of my trades, right? And like they got tons of upvotes. I mean, I had someone DM me, who's apparently part of the mod team, right? And she said like there's just one random person who like hates you, and just like
A moderator that hates you.
Yeah, yeah.
When
yeah.
did you get banned?
I don't know. This is probably like mid 2021 or something.
Do you have any idea why? I mean, I've perused your Reddit account. You do say some things that are, you know, maybe a little bit abrasive to some with, you know, moms or mother-in-laws.
It's Reddit culture, right? It was Wall Street culture, so I was obviously just kind of playing into it. No, I think probably they just saw me getting too big and just wanted to cut it out.
Do you think it would help their forum, though, to have you on there and bring in more views, more engagement?
Yeah.
These moderators on Reddit are weird.
You're
weird.
It seems
They're
like they
kind
like
power.
loss porn more than they enjoy the gains.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're one of the few people on Wall Street
point.
Bets that turned, you know, 30. You made
That's a good
effectively
point.
$10 million from nothing, and they banned you.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, you post yourself losing 99% of your portfolio.
What I've learned
and they love
online is that all hate is just jealousy, you know? And so probably they hate to see a winner, right? And yeah, the moderators on Reddit are just extremely power hungry. They just love banning people for any reason. It's basically like a power trip.
What's more toxic, X or Reddit?
Now, really quick, every business is asking themselves the same question. How do we make AI work for us? The possibilities are limitless, but guessing is too risky, and sitting on the sidelines is not an option because one thing is certain. If you're not doing it, your competitors are already making their move.
And that's where our sponsor NetSuite by Oracle comes in. It's the #1 AI cloud ERP, trusted by over 43,000 businesses to manage everything from financials and inventory to commerce, HR, and CRM, all in one unified system.
When all of your data is in one place, your AI becomes a lot smarter. It doesn't just guess. It knows. NetSuite intelligently automates routine tasks, delivers real-time insights, and helps you make fast, confident decisions that actually help drive growth.
And it's not just an add-on, it's AI that's literally built right into the system that runs your business, helping you cut costs, improve accuracy, and stay ahead of the competition.
Whether your company is making millions or even hundreds of millions, NetSuite gives you visibility and control to keep moving forward. Honestly, if I were building a business of this size, NetSuite's the only company that I have 100% confidence in.
So if your revenues are at least in the 7 figures, get our completely free business guide, Demystifying AI, at netsuite.com/clips.
Again, the guide is free for you at netsuite.com/clips, netsuite.com/clips, with the link down below in the description.
What's more toxic, X or Reddit?
100% Reddit. 100% Reddit. Yeah, people say like X is bad. I'm like, this is nothing compared to what I used to deal with.
What makes Reddit so toxic? Do you think that the stereotype of like the neck beard, you know, sitting at like you got like some sauce from the night before dribbling down your chin or whatever, you know, like your belly's hanging over your desk. Yeah. Like, is that accurate, you think, of Reddit users?
They call it like the internet hive mind theory, right? When you take like a bunch of people and you anonymize them and put them in a group, it just descends into like the scum of the earth.
It's the anonymity, you think?
Exactly. Like I've connected with several people on Reddit, and but the problem is I had to use like my own thinking skills and reading skills to articulate, okay, this guy actually sounds like a well-educated adult versus like some 10-year-old kid, right? And I would actually connect with them and, you know, et cetera, and I trust their word more. But generally, the way the algorithm works and the upvotes work is just, you know, very much based on dunking and extreme content. And yeah, you just don't know who these people are.
On the topic of Reddit, you created r/the race to 10 million. I'm curious, why did this resonate with so many people? Because it has like 500,000 members. And what is so important about getting a $10 million net worth?
It all started as a kind of inside joke with me and a couple other Redditors that like we were all kind of racing our own ways to 10 million and see who gets there first. I mean, obviously it's just like a nice big number. And we created a subreddit. We're basically posting like updates and screenshots, and like, you know, I made it first, and there was like a spreadsheet of like, you know, where everyone was at. And it actually kind of died down for a little bit between like 2020 and 2023. But somewhere in the middle, I think it crossed like a magical number just like on its own, like around like 25,000 members. And I think that's when it started getting trending on the front page.
Wow.
Right? And I mean, that was my favorite part of Wall Street Bets. It was the game porn and loss porn, right? Like the big kind of numbers on the screenshots. And so people just started posting their crazy gains on the race to 10 million. It was like the perfect forum for it. And so I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. I started promoting it. And Wall Street Bets at that time, I mean, it just started turning into like an Instagram meme page. right?
It turned a bit into a cesspool.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. No one was actually sharing any real DD. People, you couldn't follow like people's stories. And so I think the race to 50 million kind of filled that gap.
What gets unlocked at a $10 million net worth? Why is that number so important?
I mean, first and foremost, I live in California. It's a very, very expensive state. And I think, if you want the modern life that social media it sells to you these days, right? It is very expensive. Like whenever I post something like that, people are like, "Oh, you can move to Southeast Asia. You could just like buy this kind of house in Tennessee or something like that, right?" But like yes, you can live and I can retire, for 50, 60 years probably in Thailand, right? But do I want to, right? Like, and I think you've talked about this on your videos often, right? Like the what people want in a house, right? Compared to like 30 years ago, people can't stand single pane windows, right? They want central air. Like the quality of life that we want has dramatically increased. And you could blame social media for that. You could blame a lot of things for that, but we're also just still humans, right? Like we get fed, this information unwillingly, and that kind of raises our own bar for like what we expect. And happiness is basically expectation meets minus reality, right? And so if your expectation because of just various social media and life tells you that you need to, be able to send your kids to this kind of daycare or go on vacation twice a year or something like that, like that's kind of like, unfortunately, what you expect from life now. And so like, even at $10 million, that's not going to survive me for 60 plus years. Like I've done the math. Like it's very expensive to live and you're not even taking into account inflation and like who knows what happens in the future, right? Because again, like if you retire, you're probably not going to be able to get a job if you're out of the workforce for 10 years. Right?
So are people misguided then? And they have their sights set on $10 million when in actuality it should be more?
I think so, actually.
How much higher?
There's this really good report from the Hampton Club. And they had this PDF where they kind of did a survey and got all these like numbers and results and feelings around them, right? And I think it quoted $50 million as the number where you just stop worrying, right? You just stop worrying. And no matter what happens, you could tank it. The market goes down.
But I will say, because I saw that survey and I did a whole video on that survey because I found it very interesting. A lot of those people don't have 50 million liquid. It's 50 million net worth.
That's fair.
And a lot of that net worth could be tied up in their company or private equity. Who knows?
So the liquid amount is lower.
I would argue that the liquid amount is lower, but according to that, it was a 50 million net worth. That was the point
psychologically
where people cared more about legacy and doing something with purpose than they did about making more money. But under $50 million, they cared more about making more money in terms of importance of there's that and also family and everything else. But that was still on the radar.
You're still worried, still stressed. Like, if the market had a bad year, crap, now I need to like grind again.
So explain then your logic. You had this race to 10 million Reddit. This was clearly your fire or your fat fire goal was 10 million financial independence, retire early. You wanted to race to $10 million net worth. You did exactly that, swing trading, going all in on individual stocks. But then once you hit that net worth, you threw it all into ETFs. And so explain this cognitive dissonance where you think that actual freedom is higher than 10 million. You raced to 10 million, but then once you hit it, you did exactly what one would do to kind of slow down and preserve their capital instead of like race to a higher net worth.
Yeah. So, this was my grind, right? Like I made it to $10 billion and essentially it's my nest egg now. I think it's also compounded by the fact that I can't really access it. It's in my 401k. If I withdraw from it, I get taxed. It turns into income tax and a 10% early withdrawal penalty. Right? And that's really significant, right? So it's essentially like I kind of think of it like a trust fund that I created that you're not supposed to touch. Like, maybe I'll withdraw from it to top off, or I want to buy something nice. And I have withdrawn like a few million from it, right? For life stuff. But you're not supposed to. And I think that keeps me hungry too. Like I want to make my legacy, I want to make my impact and success, through my startup, through the old-fashioned way, right? Actually have present like make something impactful for people, a real business. And this is just it's a safety buffer now, right? So rather than continue to go all in on that and the stresses that come with trying to do that for $10 million, that's parked in index funds. It's gonna double in 10 years. That's 20, right? It's gonna double again in 10 years. Like why not just wait and use my time in something else?